We could survive that. We could survive that. We could survive it.
Hello and welcome to We Could Survive That, your survival guide to the movies. My name is Jack and today I'm joined by the best friend of Jar Jar Binks. It's Chris.
I think I found my real name is Lola Blinks. Blinks? I meant Binks.
Binks, you're related to Jar Jar?
Through marriage.
Through marriage. Did you marry Jar Jar?
I ended up in the Gungan city. I thought, hey, while I'm here, let's check out the native species, as it were.
What are the Gungans? Are they fish or rabbits?
Right, they're amphibious creatures.
So they're frogs.
Yeah.
Jar Jar's a giant frog.
There are other amphibious creatures.
A newt?
Yeah, but no, they're just Gungans, aren't they? That's what they are. They're Gungans.
They're Gungans.
They're Gungans.
All right, now that we've cleared that up, we're doing Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Don't turn off just yet. Please.
It's
it's not
that
the best
bad.
Star Wars film.
It's not bad. I like the Phantom Menace. I like all the Star Wars films. You just got the picky people that don't like.
How long has it been since you watched The Phantom Menace?
Year and a half, maybe?
Yeah.
2 years, 3 years? I'm not really sure anymore. I don't know. But I watched the fight sequences from it quite recently.
The fight sequences are cool, but some of the CG, especially Jar Jar's CG, doesn't hold up very well.
Oh, come on. It was made like early 2000s.
Yeah, but still...
Give it a chance.
Still, it's not aged well in some parts, and looking at it through more mature eyes, there are some dull bits in there. Like, really dull.
Name me 5.
You know the Senate hearing?
Yeah, that's an important story plot to move the story forward.
Boring. All of Anakin's lines? Boring. Jedi Council meeting? Boring. They just sit around in a circle.
All the council meetings are like that.
Yeah, but they could have spiced it up a bit.
How?
Like, whoever holds the Force teddy bear is allowed to talk.
Oh my days.
No.
No. You're going to rip this film to shreds because I got moody at Spectre last week. Is that what it is?
What's your favourite film?
What?
Ever. Just
Ever?
What's your favourite film in the world?
Can it be a trilogy?
If you want.
My favourite trilogy is probably Back to the Future.
Well then, when we do that, maybe I'll destroy that.
There are no deaths in Back to the Future.
So we'll never do it. Alright, let's jump in then with the first death. Do you want to do some Star Wars singing first?
Bum 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 bum. In a galaxy. No, wait. In a faraway I forgot how the opening...
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
There were Jedi and droids. And the Sith Empire was not an empire at the moment.
It was just two guys.
It was just two guys.
In robes.
Technically, well, the Sith Empire at this point was known as the Old Republic.
Can we get started?
Yeah, I was pausing for you for dramatic effect for you to jump on with something, but you did it.
To just stop you before you...
Spoiler alert.
did something. Right. Okay, so this ship turns up, it drops off Obi-Wan Kenobi and Qui-Gon Jinn. Qui-Gon Jinn? Yeah, we'll call him Qui-Gon Jinn from now on.
What are you Qui-Gon Jinn?
Qui-Gon Jinn. Drop off old Jimmy to discuss with the Trade Federation led by Newt Gunray. Newt Gunray gets all weirded out and he's like, oh no, they're Jedi. Quickly kill them all and blow up their ship. So he sends out the order. A turret drops down and the pilot and co-pilot are blown up when these laser cannons go off.
Mm-hmm.
So, evasive action, what do you do? Put up the shields?
Shield should be up 24/7.
But you landed, you think you're fairly safe, you're parked.
No. When you park your car, do you leave it unlocked or do you lock it when you walk off? You lock it. When you park your ship, you leave your shields up.
So no one can smash the window and
Precisely.
steal your radio from it.
That's exactly right. Yep.
That's a fair point.
Exactly. It's more than a fair point. That is the only point.
Maybe shoot back at the gun turret.
This is assuming you survived the initial.
No,
You've got
no,
your shields
just
up.
have like an automatic turret that whenever it detects danger, then it pops out and deals with the danger.
Does that ship actually have any weapons on it? Because if they're going
That would be the only
to
problem.
discuss a peace treaty, they're basically there to discuss a blockade on Naboo.
Yeah.
So would they really send a ship that's carrying ambassadors that's, got weapons on it?
Well, the Jedi have got their weapons. They've got their lightsabers.
Yeah, but Jedis always carry their lightsabers regardless, don't they? That's just a thing that is Jedi. But
I would imagine most of the ships would have some kind of guns on there, just to like blow up asteroids and things if they got in their way and stuff.
Okay, yeah, so they have anti-asteroid guns. I don't think one of them would be powerful enough to take out
a turret.
No.
Okay. When you see the turret pop down, everyone move to the back of the ship.
The entire ship explodes. That is not going to work.
I'd say ejector seats, but they're quite close to the roof, so they'd end up hitting their heads.
Those type of those type of ships would not have ejector seats.
Yeah, escape pods. Although then,
but you
fly
would
into
get there
the
in
side
time.
of the ship, and the escape pods would probably blow up, or you'd be crushed inside it.
I can't believe I'm saying this. The only logical way to survive this is to have your shields up
at all times.
Yes, and then you deflect or absorb the first shot, and then at which point, if you have weapons, you return fire,
or try and just get out the ship,
back
or
out,
fly
make
the
a hasty
ship
retreat.
out. Yeah,
yeah, because the Jedi can take care of themselves. Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, by the way, show very
little
concerning lack of
compassion.
concern. A concerning lack of concern. Yeah,
yeah,
for the pilots and on the co-pilot that got them there.
Bet they were just like an intergalactic taxi.
Yeah,
Keep the meter running, boys. We'll be back.
We'll be right back.
And they weren't.
Yeah, exactly.
I bet they weren't even going to pay them.
No.
We're going to skimp on the bill. Send it to Mace Windu. He'll pay.
Yeah, Yoda owes me one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure when I have ships, I mean, when you get like ambassador cards and stuff in other countries, like the bodyguards for the ambassador will probably have weapons, i.e. like the Jedi. But the actual vehicle
No, the
doesn't.
Jedi are the ones doing the negotiating. It's like sending the bodyguards to do the negotiating.
All right, the Jedi, that's not the point. The point is the vehicle itself, well, it might have defenses, bulletproof glass and stuff. It wouldn't have weapons.
Send someone that isn't as threatening as a Jedi to negotiate with them. Send an actual member of the Space Parliament to negotiate with them. Send one of them, and then they'll be less twitchy. Because then they won't think, oh dear, it's a Jedi, he's going to chop off my head with his lightsaber. Or force choke me. Qui-Gon is very liberal in his use of the Force in this film. He uses it to, in the Gungan city, to get a water speeder. He tries to use it on Watto to get the parts he needs for the spaceship. He's a very borderline corrupt Jedi.
No, he's just using it in his favour, isn't he? There's probably no rule saying that they're not allowed to use the Force on people. The weak-minded
they can
individuals.
Use it on people, but not to like get a better deal on their car insurance or something.
I would.
That would be morally wrong.
500 credits a month. I don't know. It's not 500 credits a month. You pay me 500 credits a month.
See, that would be very morally
That might be going a bit
corrupt.
too far.
Yeah.
I'm not even Jedi. I'm just waving my hand in the hope that you believe it.
Yeah.
It's just a placebo effect.
Yeah. All right, so best thing we can do for the pilots is just
shields up and
run away.
Yeah. After you deflected the first shot or absorbed the first shot, then get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah. Or the Federation shit.
I think that's pretty straightforward. It's logical. There's nothing over the top about it. I mean, they could go over the top about it, but
fly through the ship,
accelerate forward and smash through the ship
with the shields on. You'd probably kill the Jedi, but never mind. All right, so Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, they survive. They stash themselves on board the droid ships and fly down to Naboo, where they encounter everyone's favourite character, Jar Jar Binks. Yay!
Go Jar Jar, it's your birthday.
Okay, quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Which actor out of the man that played Jar Jar and the kid that played Anakin got more work after Phantom Menace?
The Jar Jar actor.
Surprisingly, yes.
No, I knew it was a Jar Jar
actor.
Oh,
you knew it was...
I knew, yeah.
He still does a lot of voiceover for like the TV series and games as Jar Jar.
Yeah.
And he's been in a few like episodes of Law and Order and like American TV shows and stuff. But I think this was the last film that the guy that played Anakin did, or his penultimate film. I think he's got troubles.
He's got troubles?
Yeah.
I was reading about him a while ago, actually, see what he's doing now. Have you seen what he looks like now? Because he would not be in shape to play Anakin now in like episodes 2 or 3.
No.
Assuming like he was old enough at that point to do it.
I doubt he would. I think the gap was 2 years between Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. 2 or 3 years. I don't think he would have been old enough.
2 or 3 years? Holy crap! How the hell did the character age that much?
No, that's the gap between when they were released. I think the gap in the film is 10 years or something.
I was going to say, it must be about 10 years.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap.
In which case, how old is Padme in Phantom Menace?
I don't know, how old's Anakin?
Anakin is 11, I think.
Padme must have been about 15, 16 maybe?
Yeah.
And now 10 years later, Anakin's about 21. She must be about 26 or something.
Yeah.
Seems about right. Although it's Natalie Portman in all the films, so she doesn't age really at all.
No, yeah.
Any of the films.
That's very distracting. Hayden Christensen has
Visibly
suddenly turned
aging.
up. Yeah.
And then Natalie Portman was like staying still.
Yeah. And Obi-Wan's got a sick beard and mullet. Alright, so they go down to the Gungan city. Qui-Gon uses his mind powers on Brian Blessed is the voice of the chief Gungan guy.
Brian Blessed?
Brian Blessed, yeah. Gordon's alive! Flash Gordon's alive. So he's in that. Qui-Gon uses his mind powers, gets the submarine, and they go through the planet core and attacked or chased by a big fish, which is then eaten by a slightly bigger fish. You're a big fish? What do you do when you're being chased by a bigger fish? Although I think the bigger fish sneaks up on it because it's too preoccupied with trying to eat.
Don't chase a submarine. I mean, that's obviously not part of your.
But it looks tasty.
Your normal food. It can't be good for your insides.
It
crunching
probably
up metal
eats
and stuff.
Gungans for breakfast.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's like meat. This is like a hard metal object
but
with a little bit of meat
it's
in
like
the middle.
a Kinder Egg. There's a tasty.
But you wouldn't eat what's in the Kinder Egg, do you?
Maybe. What's the opposite to a Kinder Egg? It's the tinfoil around the Kinder Egg.
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't eat the tinfoil. You just want the Kinder Egg.
You peel off the tinfoil to get to the taste
So
of
what,
Gungan
the fish would
inside.
grab the submarine and peel off the metal?
Yes.
No.
And then eat Jar Jar.
No. Jar Jar will never die. Jar Jar lives on.
I read somewhere that Jar Jar is alive throughout episodes 4, 5, and 6. So there is a possibility, depending on the lifespan of a Gungan, that he could show up in episode 7.
Episode 7.
Just a really old Jar Jar. Grey-haired and mustachioed.
That'd be terrible. Although he might not be grey-haired. I mean, look at Chewbacca. He's not grey.
He looks younger, if anything.
And considering Chewbacca
cool.
was in episode 3,
yeah,
Revenge of the Sith, I don't know what the lifespan of a Wookiee is, but obviously it's quite long. He was alive before Harrison Ford, or his character Han Solo, was born, and he's been alive all this time as well.
Yeah.
And now Han Solo's old, grey hair, he's aged, etc. And Chewbacca still looks like he's in his prime.
Exactly. Damn.
Yeah, what is the lifespan of a Wookiee? Saying that, Yoda was like 900 years old, wasn't he?
So maybe they're about the same thing. So you're a big fish. Don't chase after
big
it.
fish. You go first.
Have a friend?
That was terrible.
Hunting a pack of fish. Or a school of fish.
They might not be pack hunters, though.
Yeah.
The fish that first is like a giant, like piranha type fish, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the fish that eats it has got hands, hasn't it?
Yeah, like paddly things.
Yeah.
I don't think the big fish could fight the bigger fish.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say the big fish to turn around to fight. What's it going to do? You spin round as this big bug is coming towards you, his mouth open. You accelerate forward into its mouth and pop out the back of its throat.
Or you quickly dart in, grab its tongue, bite down and pull its tongue out.
Okay. Yep.
And then it's got a sore tongue.
Because you must have speed over this bigger fish.
Exactly.
Just don't be distracted by. Don't chase a submarine in the first place. Okay, it's not going to be good for you eating that metal. I guarantee you eat that. Next week, you're in the doctor's because you got stomach pains.
and severe internal bleeding from all the
Yeah, exactly.
from the propeller
metal.
and stuff.
I think that's
And
crushed.
probably poisoning from the fuel.
I mean, what if he actually ate it and he swallowed it? Yeah, poisoning from the fuel. Good point. And like one of the lightsabers didn't break and just turned on, and just like sliced
Yeah.
through all of the insides.
Yeah, damn. I imagine. Yeah,
Do lightsabers work underwater?
they can do if you modify them.
I'm assuming these weren't modified, so.
Probably not. Because Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, I doubt, would
But then
have much call to go underwater. Because there are other Jedi on the Jedi Council that are from aquatic civilizations that have these modified lightsabers. So
How do you know this?
I read things.
I think you're making it up.
No,
But anyway, Qui-Gon's and Obi-Wan's lightsabers do still work after they've been swimming, though. They
Yeah.
swim to the Gungan city, and the lightsabers still work.
Mm.
Surely water would go like in the hole, though.
Maybe it depends on how well it's sealed off. But
Right.
All
Okay.
right,
Yeah.
shall we move on?
Yep.
Let's move on. Nobody really cares about the big fish character, but Sebulba. We're moving on to pod racing. Sebulba's a bloody maniac murderer. He's the weird
walks on his-
three-limbed thing.
Nah, 4 limbs, but he walks on his hands with his feet up in the air. Basically, he's got like reversed his hands,
Are his legs,
but he uses his hands as hands and to walk on. He uses his feet as hands as well.
but not to walk on.
No,
So what does he control the pod racer with? His hands or his feet?
all of them.
That's very complicated.
Well, it's how his species work, isn't it?
It's a weird species.
This is also when we first see
Anakin.
Nah, screw Anakin. I was talking about Jabba.
Oh,
Jabba the Hutt, and like he's got his wife or something
he's got
with him.
he's got like
a female
a
lady with
cameo
him.
in it. There's good old Jabba.
So how old's Jabba then? Because again, Jabba's still alive.
Jabba's really
before
old.
Han Solo's even born.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
wish Leia didn't kill him. I want to see Jabba in Episode 7.
You might see a Hutt, just
Yeah,
not
it could be
Jabba.
another Hutt.
Maybe Baba the Hutt.
God.
Baba Hutt.
Don't be a riot for Star Wars.
The child of Jabba the Hutt. Yeah. So the pod race takes place, and Qui-Gon does a bet with Watto for the part that he needs to get the ship working so he can fly over to Coruscant. So he enters Anakin in, and Sebulba goes on a murder spree, basically. He's throwing things out of his pod. He sabotages Anakin's pod. Right, his first victim is this guy that he basically pushes using his bigger pod racer into a cliff wall, and the pod racer explodes. Just stay away from Sebulba. He's clearly mad. That would be my best advice.
Don't race. Don't do pod racing. I mean, when you look at Tatooine and you look at like Mos Eisley, it's basically like a American Western town, isn't it? Where
Everything's
there's
legal.
laws, but they're
It's
not.
gang law, though.
They're not really enforced like the proper
Well,
laws.
they are enforced, but the punishments are like severe. There's no law there apart from gang law, the Hutt's law.
Yeah, pretty much then. So, okay, first thing, do not take part in a pod race. It can only spell trouble.
But if you're forced into it by a corrupt Jedi,
Yeah.
and you're a tiny 11-year-old, or this alien guy that gets squished into a cliff.
Again, the pods don't have any shields on them.
No.
Can you attach some secret hidden weapons?
I don't know what the rules are, because I don't think you're allowed guns, but Sebulba's throwing things into people's turbines and stuff. So if you've got like a spanner, I imagine you could throw that at Sebulba and then maybe he'd back off. Not like at his pod racer, but at his head. Throw it at Sebulba's head.
Nah, I got a better idea. Sebulba knocks into me. He's like, I'm going to push him to the rock. What's this? I've jumped across onto Sebulba's pod. And Sebulba's like, what you doing? I'm like, sup, Bulba. Grab him by his little scrawny neck, yank him up, find where Anakin is, launch him at Anakin. Anakin has a awesome fist fight him on that pod. I take Sebulba's pod and I'm like,
In the time it takes you to throw Sebulba out, would his pod have gone out of control and
nah,
flown into a
autopilot.
rock or something?
Autopilot comes with all the new features.
No. What's the point of having an autopilot in a race when you could just race pods with robots or something.
In case there's...
I doubt they'd have autopilots on.
Well, this particular model does, okay? For when Sebulba goes out to visit his parents and he wants a lazy drive
He's not
through the
gonna
sand
take his-
dunes of Tatooine, and he takes the pod out.
It's like an F1 car. You don't take that for a drive to get your shopping, do you?
I would if I had an F1 car.
Where would you put the shopping? There's no boot to it.
For fuck's sake. Why?
That's
I'm
what you're
such big
saying.
holes? Okay, I would...
Okay, so jump onto Sebulba's
I would
pod
attack
or
back.
throw something at him.
Yeah, I would attack back.
The next guy to probably die in the pod race, he's flying through this cave. He's turning around, having a look, seeing who's behind him. Then when he turns back around, he slams straight into a stalagmite that's coming down from a cave wall. Or from the cave roof, sorry. And that explodes and sets the whole cave ablaze.
He probably killed a few more pod racers. They
If
probably got
someone
caught in the
gets
fire.
I think maybe Anakin's the only one close enough to him to be hurt by it, because Anakin is the last one out of the cave, and Anakin's pretty far behind at this point. So
why did the guy look behind him then? Cause
just to see how close Anakin was,
right.
and just to see where he's got to go to block him in so he doesn't overtake. Pay attention to what you're doing.
Yeah, the amount of times I've been playing a racing game or like GTA and I've been chased by the police, and I look behind me to check how close they are, and I end up
And then you
slamming
plow
into something
else, yeah.
At which point, just don't look behind you. Forget what's behind you and just focus on the front.
Focus on the task.
The
at
past
hand.
is the past. Focus on the future and make it the present.
That was inspirational.
I know, I feel like I could do anything now.
Where did you steal that from?
I don't know. Several sources, I would imagine.
And
Yeah.
then there's another guy who is shot by some Tusken Raiders. I don't think he dies because it's not obvious. They shoot one of his engines and that explodes, and the little section he's in is like a donut shaped, and he's in the middle, and that goes spinning off into the desert. So if he's not injured, he could probably walk back to Mos Eisley, but if he is injured, the sand people are probably going to eat him.
I think it...
Sand people eat people?
I don't know. Did you know the Jawas and the Tusken Raiders were one species to begin with, and then they split, and then you get the Tusken Raiders and the Jawas now?
Do you know the Jawas were all played by children?
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Children or dwarfs?
Children.
Well, they really played as all children.
Like producers' children and stuff.
Ah, that's awesome.
Bless them being
Bless
forced to
them.
wear pyjamas and thick fabric
And they've
dressing
made-
gowns in the
they've-
desert.
And they're more famous and probably made more money than we ever will.
I doubt
Nah.
that. I doubt they,
They
were
probably
paid.
weren't paid.
Watch out for Tusken Raiders.
Yeah, whichever Tusken Raiders. He probably was.
Have security where the Tusken Raiders are going to be. Unless Jabba the Hutt doesn't mind the Tusken Raiders. Maybe he's
He
got some
probably-
sort of deal
No,
with them.
I don't think he's got a deal. He probably just encourages it though, because he's like, yeah, it's more fun because people are watching this on the camera, isn't it? Oh, let's see if one gets shot by a Tusken
Yeah.
Raider.
When we cut back to Jabba, Jabba's asleep.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
slept through most of the
He gets so bored of the race.
Yeah.
Maybe he's worn out. I mean, he's quite a large worm.
Yeah.
It's probably quite exhausting for him to slide or sliver to,
All
however
that
far
way
was.
and then yeah.
So I mean, look at him when we see him like episode 5 and stuff.
Oh, he's really let himself go.
Is it episode 5 or episode 6?
We see him in 4 as well, but his main appearance is in 6.
6, sorry, yeah. He spends all his time sitting on a throne.
Yeah.
He's so
Well,
lazy.
that's what you do. He's a gangster. He's not got anything better to do apart from feed dancers to the Rancor.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, just try to avoid it. I mean, can the pods get shields on them? I'm sure you could build them some sort of
Yeah,
small
but I think that
shielding
would
device.
weigh them down a bit. And
I'd rather be
that would
weighed
take down the
down
speed.
than, be shot by Tusken Raiders, stranded in the desert. If you don't die of dehydration, the Tusken Raiders are going to get you, turn you into a slave, and then when you're fed up with you, they're going to kill you and eat you.
Yes.
Yeah, do they eat meat? I don't know what they eat.
I can't imagine the Tusken Raiders being vegetarian. Do Tusken Raiders have mouths?
Under their masks, they must do. Yeah.
So, are we pro pod racing or do we campaign against pod racing?
In terms of survival, we probably should campaign against it and not take part.
Yeah.
It seems like a bit too much of a dangerous sport. It's like
in terms of content for the podcast, it's great.
yeah, for the podcast, it's great. But
we've killed a good 10 minutes on pod racing alone.
Right, moving on.
Yes, we can move on, and it's the return of
the
favourite
Jedi
sound. Yes, the Wilhelm scream. I've missed the Wilhelm scream. Have you?
Not really.
No, okay.
I haven't heard it in so long.
Well, the Jedi finally make it back to Coruscant, and they're told by the Jedi Council that they should probably figure out, because they're attacked by Darth Maul on Tatooine just as they're escaping. The Jedi Council say, "Oh, the Sith probably can't return because we've not sensed their presence. You should go back to Naboo with the Queen to liberate Naboo and find out who this person is who's trying to kill her." So they go back, they launch an attack on Naboo with the help of the Gungans, and in order to secure a proper victory, they have to take the hangars and take their starfighters up and blow up the control ship for all the droids. And in doing this, one of the pilots is running for some cover and is shot by one of the droids and does the Wilhelm scream. He's close to some barrels anyway. He's running from some barrels to some more barrels. Just stay behind the barrels you were running from.
Yeah, and let the soldiers take care of the droids and then get up and go.
Yeah.
Don't be so eager to, dive forward. Look at me, I'm the great big hero. I'm gonna run forward first. Oh no, I'm dead. Dick.
Maybe he's running forward to get a better shot. Maybe he
don't get a better shot.
Maybe
Why
if
do you need
he
a better
was
shot?
a better shot,
go.
then he wouldn't have to fiddle around for a better position.
Why do you need to be a better shot? Why was he shooting in the first place?
Because he's trying to get closer.
Yeah,
to
he's
shoot
got a
them.
pistol. But still, I wouldn't be bothering to shoot. I'd be like, well, these guys can take care of it. I'm going to wait here until my ship's free.
I'm being paid to be a pilot.
That's it. I don't need to do this.
You want me to be an inventory soldier? Then it's going to cost you extra. But we're liberating your home. No, pilot only.
Pilot only. That's how it works. I slide out I got my phone out. I'm playing Angry Birds, man.
And then everyone dies and the Jedi are killed. And
what? Because I didn't die
because
first?
of this one Wilhelm guy's heroic sacrifice inspired them all to
fight on
for freedom and stuff.
Or they heard him do the Wilhelm scream and they thought, oh God, not this again. Let's kill the droids before anybody else comes.
No, you killed Wilhelm. Oh. Also, if Wilhelm hadn't have died, would the ship that Anakin have been hiding in not been there?
Oh, so was that Wilhelm's ship then?
It might have been. Any other suggestions for how Mr. Wilhelm could have survived?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of ducking down using that. Oh, you know what you could have done? Was Anakin in the ship at this point?
He might have been hiding in there, yeah, probably.
Nah, that takes away from my plan then.
What if he's not in there?
Use my human body shield.
I
would grab
a
Anakin.
Small child.
I'm killing Darth Vader. Probably in the long run, it means the Emperor's going to live, but I am getting rid of Darth Vader.
Okay, you're a bigger target than Anakin, so you're more likely to be hit.
But droids hate children, so they would aim for Anakin instinctively.
And then they'd aim for you.
Nah, because once they shoot Anakin, I'll then fall down and be like, oh no, you have shot me.
I got a question. Why is the droid army not entirely made up of droid Decards? The deadliest droid.
Too expensive, maybe?
Maybe.
They're pouring all their money into research and to make those super droids. You know, the ones that have the blasters on their arms.
But droid Decards are way better than any of the other droids.
Yeah, but perhaps it's because of their shields. Like, it's just too expensive because it's probably not cheap to make shields.
Yeah.
So it's just too expensive.
But if they weren't designing the other droids, then they'd have more money.
It's too expensive.
I'm trying to help out Newt Gunray.
No, forget Newt Gunray. Forget the Trade Federation.
So up in space, the Naboo space pilots are trying to blow up the droid ship. One of the pilots is killed when he flies in the direction of a turret that's shooting at him, and the turret hits him and it blows him up and he dies.
They just basically
fly the other direction. And a few of the spaceships as well get shot down before they even get to space because there's a droid tank sat at the entrance just waiting to ambush them as they fly out the hangar as well.
I tell you what, the shields on these X-Wings and stuff, is it X-Wings they're using?
No, Naboo fighters. They're like yellow and silver.
Oh, yeah, I remember them now.
How dare you confuse them with
the shield technology in these are not very good at all.
Well, maybe they'd not put their shields up in time.
Put your shields up as soon as you go. Why?
Maybe it takes some time. You know,
If
you've
you're
got to rev
driving-
the engine a little bit
Right.
to build
No,
up power.
If you're driving your car and you're going to drive through a bit of a dodgy neighbourhood, it's late at night, you know there's going to be a couple of times you might have to stop. You lock your car doors anyway, don't you?
Yeah, and do your windows up.
Exactly. So you jump in your ship, first thing you do is you pop your shields on.
And don't fly at a thing that's shooting at you.
Do you know what? As you were saying that, I was thinking that guy was probably it's like an ongoing joke. Like it's at the academy, they purposely trained him wrong as a joke.
Yeah, you see
To the point-
lasers fly at them.
To the point where it got really out of hand and it cost him his life.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's mean of them.
Nah, because he blew up and everyone back at the academy was like, "Oh, look, the joke played out well on Frank. He's dead." Way.
What did Frank ever do to you to warrant such
Nothing.
such aggression?
Nothing, is it? You get a new pilot and you choose one, don't you? Which one we're going to screw over next?
I
Sorted.
would not want to go to that at flight school.
No, you shouldn't. So yeah, and the other ones that sort of get exploded. I mean, come on, it's one tank shooting. If you see the guy in front of you blow up, realise there's a tank there, circle back around and blow it up yourself.
Yeah, why don't they circle back round and deal
Do you
with
know
that? 'Cause
exactly?
that
Yeah.
tank could cause some major issues. It could turn back around and start shooting up the palace when they're all trying to retake the viceroy and stuff. So it could just blow a hole in the room where or in the corridor where you're fighting the droids and stuff.
Precisely, they've left. The soldiers
I mean, it
are
doesn't
not well trained.
because they've not written it like that. But that
It could
would
happen,
cause
yeah.
some serious issues.
I don't blame you. This is probably the first military conflict they've had, though.
What,
I
the
can't-
droids?
No,
Or
Naboo.
the Naboo people?
Yeah, I can't imagine. Before this, they did a lot of fighting, so
Yeah.
they're very amateurs at it. So it's like they go do this and they're like, "Should we have blown up that tank?" Oh, maybe.
Nah.
Nah, I think it'll be alright in the long run.
What damage can a tank do? Okay, shall we move on from the pilot's death?
Yeah.
Yes. Qui-Gon Jinn.
Jin,
Qui-Gon Jinn.
show some respect.
Liam Neeson meets his end. Did you know, fun fact, that Liam Neeson accepted the role of Qui-Gon Jinn? Sorry. Accepted the role without reading the script.
Did he really?
Yeah.
So he accepted it, read the script. Oh crap! I'm gonna die.
He just saw that he'd been offered a part as in Star Wars, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll do that." We all
First thing
know
I
how
ever saw
that-
Liam Neeson in
What that?
Star Wars. Yep.
Star Wars.
First thing I've ever seen him in.
Darth Maul shows up ready to kick ass and chew bubble gum. He shows up in front of a bunch of people with guns, and he's not got his lightsaber out.
I don't think if they'd shot, I'm confident he would have had his lightsaber out quick enough, and he would have deflected the shots back.
Well, no, because he's in his black robe, and
Yeah.
his lightsaber is behind his back. So if Padme had just shot, and he's looking down as well, is Darth Maul. He's just because he does that slow head lift up thing
Oh yeah.
that makes
yeah.
it dramatic. So someone just shoot him.
I think he's working on the fear factor at this point, isn't he? Like,
All right, I have a gun, and I'm scared of someone that stood there, and I know he's been trying to kill me throughout my adventures in space. I would shoot
and
him.
time.
In space and time, yes.
All right,
I would shoot him.
I'm gonna offer you an example here. You may not have seen. There is an MMORPG game called Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Yeah.
Okay. They released 3 cinematic trailers for this game. One of the cinematic trailers is sort of the rebellion fighting, or the old Republic, their version of that, the rebellion fighting the current Sith Empire.
Yeah.
They're in a forest. The Jedi, the main Jedi lady, I forget her name, is now fighting Satya.
Satele.
I think it's Satya. Whatever. That's not the point. The point is she's fighting the Sith guy. All the other soldiers don't interfere. They run past.
Malak.
No.
No, Darth Magala.
It doesn't matter at the moment.
Something
The point
beginning
is,
with an M.
They're fighting, and the soldiers run past. They don't try shooting him or anything or interfering. It's the same principle that's applied here. They're like, this is a Sith.
No.
No,
I will shoot Maul in the face.
They're too scared to act against him, basically. They're like, this is a Sith. I'm way too scared to shoot.
Wilhelm, if he had have lived, he would have shot him in the face.
He would have ran
at him going,
why would you
even
run?
when he's dead, he'd still be shooting him. Going, where's your Sith Emperor now? Where's your lightsaber now? So yeah, that's the first point in which they could have taken out Maul and saved Qui-Gon. Another point is, back on Coruscant, when they're talking to the Jedi Council, Mace Windu, played by Samuel Jackson, goes, I will do what I can to discover the mystery of who this guy is. And then he sends Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan back going, oh, that guy that I said I'd find out who he is, he's probably going to be there. Why don't you guys just go, and I'll stay here and hang out with Yoda and everyone. There are so many Jedis, why just send 2 if you have even the slightest suspicion that this guy's a Sith? Either send Mace Windu, or literally any other Jedi. Just one other Jedi. Because then Darth Maul's got a double-edged lightsaber, and then there's 3 guys with normal lightsabers after him. Literally anyone. Do you want me to list off people that I saw in the Jedi Council chambers that looked like they had nothing else to do?
You can do.
Mace Windu, Kit Fisto, Plo Koon, that lady, Yoda, Yaddle, who is the Lady Yoda. She could have done something. There's also some Jedi that are in the Clone Wars series that would have been good. A really good one that you could have sent after Darth Maul. He's called Pong Krill. He's basically a giant 4-armed guy that has 2 double-edged lightsabers. Send him after Darth Maul. Darth Maul's like, I got a double-edged lightsaber. Pong shows up, a giant 4-armed guy, and pulls out 2. That would really shit him up. Literally, any other Jedi, even that kid that goes Master Skywalker, there's too many of them, what are we going to do? I'm gonna die as a Jedi. Send him, because he's gonna die instead of Qui-Gon. Ki-Adi-Mundi, the guy with the giant head, he's pretty awesome.
Shut
Send
up!
him.
Enough! No. Okay, just no. They all the other Jedi had important things to attend to. They had Padawans to train, meetings to go to, therapy sessions to have. I don't know, I don't care. They were all busy.
All
A
of them?
female Yoda is not real.
She's real.
Where? Where do you
Trust
see her?
me. She's in the background. Okay, fine. You don't want any other Jedi. What are you going to do?
I don't even remember what we're discussing anymore.
Okay, right. Qui-Gon dies. Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan are separated by these like laser door things. Despite the fact at the beginning, both of them used Force Run to get away from the droid Descartes. He doesn't use that. He'll just do a normal run. And then Qui-Gon's outmatched by Maul, and he gets his saber knocked away, and then Maul stabs him. What do you do in that situation without any other Jedi help?
Right. Okay, you mentioned the Force Run. I was looking at is the one and only time they use it in all 6 films is the beginning.
Yeah, true.
Have you seen? There was a video somebody made. They put on YouTube of. I think it's called "What If Obi-Wan Used Force Run." Don't know if you ever seen the video or not.
No, I've not.
Basically, you know you got the shields, haven't you? That you can't get through.
Yeah, he would have made it.
The shields open up. Obi-Wan Force runs straight past Qui-Gon and Darth Maul, straight down the hole and dies. Basically, that's what happens. Okay?
We could have jumped over the hole, or
And
he could have
smashed into the wall on the other side.
He could have charged, shoulder barged Darth Maul into the giant hole and killed him.
Perhaps the Force Run uses like a lot of energy.
All the midichlorians.
And yeah,
he uses all
don't
the
use
midichlorians that everybody loves.
And perhaps he would have been too exhausted to fight. That's why they use it once
So
at the
is
beginning
Force
of the film.
Push then a midichlorian that just flies off and punches you in the face?
No, it's not.
And then Force Pull is
Forget-
a midichlorian that flies off, grabs you by the shirt and pulls you forward.
Forget everything about those Metachlorians.
Is
Qui-Gon was wrong.
Is Force Run the Metachlorians farting and you...
No! I forget everything about that.
What's
Qui-Gon
Force
was completely
Lightning
wrong.
then?
Oh
what
my
do the
days.
Metachlorians do then?
Are you done?
All the
Are you done?
Metachlorians.
Does the Force... Okay, you can't pass through those shield things. Does the Force work through them?
I don't know. Let's ask a Metachlorian.
I'm going to bitch slap you in a minute. Right? Sorry, does the Force work through stuff like that? I mean, could Obi-Wan have Force pushed Darth Maul while they were fighting?
I don't know. He doesn't even try, does he?
No, so, okay, I'm going to take that it doesn't work through there, that somehow the Force can be stopped by a shield.
Mm.
Well, why did Qui-Gon get beaten? Was it just because he was getting overwhelmed because Maul was more aggressive?
Yeah, I think Maul was just better with his saber fighting.
There's thing, isn't there, with the colour of your lightsaber sort of determines the type of Jedi. Blue
Yeah.
lightsabers,
Blue
you're more...
lightsabers are more proficient with lightsabers.
Green
and
lightsabers are more
lightsabers.
Force users.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon, obviously, green lightsaber. Does that show that perhaps he wasn't as skilled with a lightsaber as some of the other Master Jedi were? Who's more of a Force user?
He's a green lightsaber, so he's a Jedi counselor. So, yeah, he's more proficient in the Force.
Use the
than
Force
he
then,
is-
Qui-Gon! Right, use it! You
It's
could have
kind of
easily
hard.
thrown
'cause
him around.
If he sticks his hand out to use a Force push, Maul's going to lop it off.
You jump backwards, don't you?
Yeah, but then he might fall down the hole or something.
You jump backwards over. Use the Force to jump backwards over said hole. Get rid of your lightsaber, Qui-Gon. There's no point using it at all, and just Force tear Maul in half.
Force
I'm
tear.
talking. You rip him in half. At which point you then make sure Maul survives. Get the lightsaber and cauterize his wounds. And then so you can show him, look what I did to your legs, Maul. And now look, I'm going to rip them in half again. Now I'm going to rip each of your horns off your head individually.
I don't think the midichlorians would do that. They go, oh
Stop
no!
saying midichlorians!
With
It's
the
not up to the midichlorians, right? That's some bullshit
It's
Qui-Gon
canon.
made up. No, it's not.
Canon.
Qui-Gon made it up talking to Anakin when he was high off his head. He had no idea what he was talking about. That's why he's taking Anakin's blood
He force mind tricked
himself.
He got some death sticks and was smoking them. He was so angry at the council for not sending anyone else with them.
There you got
He's
high
like, I'm going to
instead.
have some death sticks and then that'll calm me down.
Yeah, what a weird thing. Why did George Lucas called cigarettes death sticks? Does this mean George Lucas doesn't like smoking?
Maybe.
He
Maybe
wasn't-
he was quitting smoking as he was going through and he needed reminding as to why he was quitting.
Possibly, yeah.
Sticks of death.
Although, yeah.
Throw death sticks at Darth Maul.
Because when you say sticks of death, I think dynamite.
Yeah.
Gonna buy some death sticks. Boom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Surviving as Qui-Gon. Your
Get
method,
death sticks and encourage Darth Maul to take up smoking.
and in 20 to 30 years he'll eventually die of
Possible.
lung cancer or
Yeah,
whatever.
possibly.
He would have killed you, but
Yes, but you get the last laugh, don't you?
moral high ground.
Oh, yeah.
We come now to the Trade Federation guys in the control ship are the next ones to bite the dust. Anakin accidentally blows up the ship and flies out going, now this is pod racing! Whoa! As everything blows up. He flies in through the unshielded entrance to the space station. So maybe have some shields on that. Or blast doors. You're in a firefight. Close the blast doors so literally nothing can get in.
What
And
if
if
they
it
need to
tries-
scramble more ships, though?
Well, they've already got a few ships out there, so...
Anakin seems really cool after murdering all these people. This is
Well,
pod
there's-
racing.
we only see 2 of them. I think the rest of the ship is controlled by like droids and stuff.
He murdered 2 people. An 11-year-old child just took the lives of 2 people, and and people are dying all around him. And he's like, "This is pod racing."
No, do
Forgetting
your
all
best
about his
11-year-old voice and do that again.
Oh, this is pod racing.
See,
Forgetting all about his mother at this big emotional scene about having to leave his mum on Tatooine. He doesn't give a crap about her at the moment, does
Qui-Gon steals a child.
he? Kidnaps a child. Wow, this film is a lot darker than I remember.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. Have blast doors, shields. Where's those turrets that you blew up the Jedi ship with? Why have you got some of those in
Exactly.
there?
Why did they not just blow up Anakin?
Exactly. But do you know why? I know why. Because there are 2 main characters on it. Anakin and R2.
Yeah.
And the rules of the film are...
Screenwriters.
I know. And especially if you come in the prequel. If you're in a prequel and you know your future character is in the sequels, you're guaranteed to survive that film.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, so you don't need to worry, so you can do as much crazy ass shit as you like, because you know you're going to survive.
Yeah. Although I don't think he's seen
Well, he should have seen them. Right, they all would have been out by then. He should have watched them all.
But this was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
They had movies.
They probably didn't have DVDs because it was a long time ago.
No, they had 3D holograms.
I know.
Much more further advanced technology.
Yeah.
What's it like now? Because all the Star Wars films start with a long time ago. If Episode 7 starts with a long time ago, what's happening right now? What's going on now?
Slightly less long ago.
Slightly less long ago. I'll wait for the day when a Star Wars film starts with...
Now.
Now. In a galaxy
present.
not so far away.
In the present time.
Anyway, surviving the thing. Yeah, I agree with you.
Escape pods, shutter doors,
blast
and
shields,
stuff like that. Yeah.
have the turret in the actual hangar activate and just blow them up.
Yeah.
Done, dusted, and done.
Good. Right. Now we come on to Darth Maul's death at the hands of, supposed death.
Supposed death, yes.
He's not quite dead.
He has robot legs.
He does have robot legs, but we'll come on to that in a bit. So Darth Maul has the high ground and is trying to distract Obi-Wan and push him down this giant hole that he's managed to force push him into.
Yeah, what a load of crap that bit was.
If you're Maul and the sparks don't work, just force push him down again.
That's what exactly. That's what I was
Throw
going to say.
your lightsaber at him.
I know you could turn your lightsaber on and literally dangle it over his head and just drop it.
Yeah,
Right? He can't reach up to grab it because he'd slice his hand on the blade.
exactly.
Okay, there is no point just like knocking some sparks out.
Or cut a chunk off the circular bit, use the force and levitate that into Obi-Wan, just squishing him until he drops.
There's literally so many things he could have
yeah.
done. You could have easily pulled his eyes out, right?
I don't think it's that accurate.
I would pulled both eyes out.
Or force choked him.
Yeah, do anything. I mean, you could have.
And when he does the flip over you thing, just chop him in half.
So
like
angry.
like
Yeah, I know.
Obi-Wan does with Anakin. Yeah.
That's probably why. That's why Obi-Wan knows how to chop Anakin though, because he did it to Darth Maul.
Yeah. But if Obi-Wan can do it, why can't Anakin jump
And the fact he said, "Anakin, it's over. I've got the high ground." Well, hang on. Episode 1, you didn't have the high ground.
You had the
won.
lowest ground possible.
You had no idea what was going to happen.
You had no ground. There was nothing
Right.
but empty tunnel between you and the ground.
What that tells me, Obi-Wan, is that you have a lack of faith in Anakin to
And-
perform to the best of his abilities.
And Obi-Wan is a terrible teacher because I knew there was something I forgot to teach you.
Forgot to teach you how to jump over an enemy from a low position.
Yeah, I forgot to teach you that. And then, yeah.
There was literally so many
Loads of things
Darth Maul
Darth
could have
Maul
done.
could have
I've got
done.
no sympathy for him at this point at all.
Okay.
I mean, he could even rip one of his horns off his head and thrown that at Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
So much he could have done.
Just anything. Do you know how Darth Maul, or do you want to speculate how Darth Maul survived after being chopped in half and then thrown down the hole?
Yeah, okay, so he doesn't bleed out because the
The heat
lightsaber would
of
have
the
cauterized the
lightsaber
wound.
field, yeah.
I don't know, he must have landed on something. Maybe went down to like a sewage... Maybe like in a...
Sewage and got
episode 4.
infected.
No, because nothing would get in. It would all be cauterized.
But he'd still get an infection.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's
he couldn't,
right.
He wouldn't
might
be
be
able to
immune.
swim very
His
well, so
species
he's
might
probably
be immune.
swallowing some...
His species is immune to infection. But you know, like in episode 4, they go down the rubbish chute, don't they? And they
Yeah.
like, maybe he landed something like that, or perhaps he used the Force to steady himself.
And fly.
Yeah, why not?
He grew wings.
Can you Force pick yourself up?
No. Do you want me to tell you how he made it out alive?
Yeah, go on.
Basically, you know how Luke jumps off the antenna and falls down, and then
Yeah.
he's sucked into an offshoot pipe?
Yeah,
That's basically what happens here.
he gets sucked into an offshoot
He gets
pipe.
sucked into an offshoot pipe and then goes into hiding for a little bit. Gets himself some sweet spider legs. He goes mad for a time as well, does Maul. He goes crazy, and then he's found by his brother. Darth Maul's got a brother. His brother's called Savage Opress.
I've
Hang
seen
on.
that on the Clone Wars,
Yeah.
the animated thing.
Right, you're going up against two Jedi. Maybe Darth Maul should have invited his brother along, because
His
his
brother-
brother's pretty badass.
Is his brother a Sith, though?
He trains to be a Sith at some point, I think.
But he's not a Sith at this
But
point.
he's not a point, yeah. But still,
He'd
it'd
be
be
more of
nice
a
to have some
liability.
backup.
No, that's not the way, is it? You get in
It's
there,
not-
you do it yourself. He had a backup. He had a
Only
double-bladed
two
lightsaber.
there. No more. No less. That rule is stupid because there's shitloads of Jedi.
Yeah.
I'm no mathematician, but I can see 100 against 2 is not going to work out very well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so that's basically how he survives,
Mm-hmm.
and that's
okay.
That's the end of the film of Star Wars Episode 1: The Phantom Menace. Did you like the show? Do you want us to do Star Wars Episode 2: Attack of the Clones? If you don't want us to do Star Wars Episode 2: Attack of the Clones, email us and shout at us. We could survive that at gmail.com, or tweet #StopTalking Chris. Hashtag that too. We could survive.
Or hashtag stop talking Jack. Hashtag Chris for the win.
Chris for the win.
Oh, yeah.
You don't even know who Plo Koon is.
Because he's not a real person.
You anti-nerd. What's an anti-nerd?
Everybody that's not a nerd.
Chris, end the show with your usual flair.
I will, thank you. You have been listening to We Could Survive That, your weekly survival guide to the movies. My name is Chris, and joining me as ever was my good friend Jack, and we will see you next week. Until then, please, keep on surviving. Toodaloo.
Toodaloo.
What's wrong with Toodaloo?